So I think her attorney's already said, yes, if we can do this, she's willing to essentially give up, so everything slides away from her, which is good for everybody, actually.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt anybody, but I think that way.
Let me call the April 5th meeting of the Executive Committee to order. Mr. Burns, could you give us a roll call or whatever it is?
Will do. Larry Leverins.
Here.
Jackson Bogan.
Here.
Gary Schroeder.
Here.
Jerry Reynolds.
Here.
Greg Jones.
Here.
Tom Murtaugh.
Present.
Kathy Parker.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes from the March 1st, 2023 public hearing as submitted.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. New business. Nope, it's you.
Yes, if you're up to me, yeah, I apologize. I move to hear and vote on the request to authorize a belated subdivision extension for Haggerty Point subdivision S 3662.
I second.
Kathy.
Okay. So Haggerty Point subdivision is a subdivision that received primary approval in 2005. That primary approval expired in April 2015, and now they want to extend that approval. But because it's expired, we need to have an authorization to permit that subdivision extension. So that's the first thing you need to vote on.
Okay, so this is called a belated subdivision extension. We have two.
It's a request to authorize the hearing of a belated extension.
Okay.
And then once you approve that, then we can hear the extension request.
Okay. I have two yellow ballots here, and they have, And I only need one?
Right.
Oh, so okay. Sorry.
Taking a voice vote on the first one,
Sure.
and then you use the ballot for the second action,
Yeah, that
which
works.
would make sense.
Okay. All right. Because I was trying, they're both the same number. I was trying to figure out how we're going to tell the difference.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, any questions from the board? Petitioner, do you have a presentation?
My name is Jerry Brand. Thank you, Commissioner, for allowing me to speak. We're basically just doing some.
Get your button there.
Oh, hit my button.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jerry Brand, I'm the manager of Enoch Investments. We're basically doing some tidy up from years past to go ahead and get the subdivision final in the second phase. We couldn't go through and get the building lot lines set, so we're at that point. So Kathy was able to help me out in terms of what we need on all the paperwork, so just trying to get things back in order.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this petition? Very good. So we don't need a roll call. We can just do it by voice?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now, the belated primary approval extension request.
Yeah, move to hear and vote on the belated primary approval extension request for Haggerty Point subdivision S 3662 as authorized.
I second.
Okay. Petitioner's property is located on the south side of Haggerty, north of 38. It is zoned general business. Here's a look at the aerial photograph and a closer look. There have been 3 lots that were finalized right over here on the east side of Park East Boulevard. And now petitioner would like to finish the subdivision and final plat this remaining area here. Here's a look at the preliminary plat. Because it was an industrial subdivision, it doesn't show a bunch of lots. That's something that they kind of do once they've decided how they want it to be laid out. So, staff does not believe there have been any changes in zoning restrictions that would require this to be refiled, and we are recommending approval.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Does petitioner wish to say any more about this?
Only if there's questions.
Okay. Any member of the audience wishing to speak on about this petition? Any questions from the board? Hearing none, you have a yellow ballot now.
Somebody needs to sign that. Murtaugh.
Oh, was that me? That's me. Sorry, good eye.
Seven ballots cast, all seven in favor of the action.
Thank you. All right, we'll enter into public hearing. Read my statement here. For those of you unfamiliar with our procedures, the Commission would like you to know the following. When we hear a request to subdivide land, we're only concerned as to whether the actual drawing showing the division into lots meets the technical requirements of our ordinance. The question of appropriateness has already been determined. Anyone wishing to make comments or provide us with information regarding any subdivision petitions will be given the opportunity to do so. We are a 7-member body, and a majority of 7 is 4. Regardless of how many commissioners are actually present, at least 4 votes in favor or 4 votes against are required for our action to be official. If fewer than 4 of us agree to either approve or disapprove an action, that case must be heard again next month. Our vote on a request to subdivide is final. When addressing the Commission, please state your name and address for the record. Please limit your statements to no more than 5 minutes, and we ask that you not repeat what others before you have already said. Cell phones must be turned off while the meeting is in session. If you need to make a call, please step out of the room before using your phone. All exhibits presented to the Commission become the property of the Commission.
I move that there be incorporated in the public hearing portion of each application be heard this evening, and to become part of the evidence at such hearing, the Unified Subdivision Ordinance, the Unified Zoning Ordinance, Unified Subdivision Ordinance, the Comprehensive Plan, the bylaws of the Area Plan Commission, the application, and all documents filed therewith, the staff report, and recommendations on the application to be heard this evening, and responses from checkpoint agencies.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I move to hear and vote on S 5120, 650 Sagamore Parkway subdivision, minor sketch.
I second.
Okay, petitioner's property is located at the northwest corner of Kossuth and Sagamore. I believe it's long been used for auto sales. It is zoned general business, as is all surrounding property except to the south, which is zoned I-3. Here's a look at the aerial photograph and a closer look. Here's a look at the minor sketch plan. So they are proposing to create 2 lots. The new lot line would come right through here. This building no longer exists. It's been torn down. Not too much to this. There's an existing driveway on Sagamore and 3 driveways on Kossuth. I believe the city's going to want to close one of those 3 driveways on Kossuth. One of the conditions is that this 30-foot easement in the back needs to be wider because it appears, I think that there's I can't tell from here if it's a sewer or water or what the line is, but looks like it's slightly outside of that 30-foot easement, so they are expanding that to include that utility. So there are 7 conditions of approval, and we are recommending conditional primary approval.
Thank you, Kathy. Does petitioner wish to make a presentation?
Good afternoon, Tim Balancy for T-Bird Design, here for the petitioners, Metzger's and Sancelli's. We've agreed with all the conditions and don't have any issue with any of the conditions that are present, and just request approval. Here for questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you. Any member of the audience wish to comment on this petition? Any questions from the commission? You have a white ballot for this one.
Seven ballots cast, 7 in favor.
Thank you, Mr. Burns.
I move to hear and vote on S 5121, 1 North Creasy, minor subdivision, minor sketch.
I second.
Petitioner's property is located at the northeast corner of Creasy and South Street. The property is zoned general business, as is all surrounding property. It's a very commercial area we're all familiar with. Here's a look at the aerial photograph. I think I skipped one aerial, but there are 3 existing buildings. Again, I believe this has been used as a car lot for years and years. All 3 of these buildings, I believe the petitioner plans to tear down. And here's a look at the sketch plan. They would be creating 3 lots out of the 1 unplatted land area. Again, not too much to talk about with this one. The access is way over here from South Street, and then there's a private easement right here that allows cars to come in through this way. But we are asking for either a blanket easement or an ingress-egress easement along this frontage so that customers coming to Lot 1 will have the right to cross this land using this driveway. There's also a driveway off of Creasy up here that basically would serve all 3 lots. And there are 7 conditions of approval, all of them standard, and we are recommending conditional primary approval.
Thank you, Kathy. Does the petitioner's representative wish to make a presentation?
Yes, briefly, Chris Shumlin of Gutwein Law, 250 Main Street, here on behalf of Castle Street Investments. Grant Gernhardt, a principal of Castle Street, is here as well. As you may have heard, the Found Nissan dealership is moving to Sagamore Parkway, and this subdivision process will set the stage for the redevelopment of the site and future uses. We appreciate Kathy's help in this and welcome the conditions, have no issues, and be happy to answer any specific questions. Request conditional approval.
Thank you. Does any member of the audience wish to speak on this petition? Yes, sir. Name and address, please.
My name is Dave Shoemaker, and it's 720 Hummingbird Court. And I'm one of the owners of DNR Market. And I was wondering about the easement we have down along the side of the market, the business, and what what would happen to that, who would maintain it, because the city only went in so far with a city-approved road, and then there's a easement agreed upon that goes on down and turns and comes out to South Street. So my question is, how will that be maintained, or what will happen to that? Okay.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak? Mr. Shellman, would you like to respond?
Same as it is now. It's a private agreement covered under the existing covenants. This is a subdivision within the subdivision. This is a subdivision within an existing subdivision. The property that Mr. Shoemaker was referring to is a part of the Kendrick commercial subdivision, which is larger and includes multiple lots. This proposed subdivision is within that. So the easement reference is a part of the Kendrick commercial subdivision and is governed under those covenants that still exist. Nothing in this subdivision affects those property rights and responsibilities.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the commission? Okay. You have a white ballot.
Seven ballots cast, all in favor of conditional approval.
Thank you, sir. Approval of the April APC public hearing agenda.
I move the following subdivision petitions be placed on the April 19th, 2023 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda at petitioner's request. Placement thereon being without reference to compliance or non-compliance with the subdivision ordinance. S. 5122 Winding Creek subdivision, a replat of Lot 237, minor sketch, and S. 5123 Arbor Chase, Section 6, Phase 2, major preliminary.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I move the following rezone petitions be placed on the April 19th, 2023 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda. Z 2880, Don Kohler, R1 to MBU. Z 2882, Subtext Acquisitions, LLC. Brent Stiles, Verve 2 Plan Development, R3W to PDRS. Z 2883, PCM Properties, LLC. Mike Cates, Revive at Russell Plan Development, R3W to PDRS. Z 2885, Shane Albritz, R1 to R1B. Z 2886, Tomish Developers, LLC, NB to R3. Z 2888, Trinitas Development, LLC, I3 to R3. Z 2889, Archview Properties, LLC, R1 to R3, and Z 2890, Buckingham Properties, LLC, R1 to R3.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carry. Approval of the April ABZA public hearing agenda.
I move the following petitions be placed on the April 26th, 2023 Area Board of Zoning Appeals public hearing agenda. BZA 2100, Z Cube Homes, LLC, BZA 2101, Anthony Hahn. BZA 2102, Keith Moore, Carlson Consulting Engineers, and BZA 2103, Built to Last.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I move regarding the following special exception request that this case will not adversely affect the comprehensive plan. BZA 2100, ZQ Homes LLC.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Determination of variances.
I move the following request for variance from a unified zoning ordinance is not a request for use variance prohibited from consideration by ordinance and statute. Case 2023-10, Slumber Holdings LLC.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I move we approve the March 2023 budget report as submitted.
I second.
Mr. Hiddle.
Thank you. The budget report is on the last page of the packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Very good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any other business? No? Mr. Schroeder.
I move we adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
Be a full one. That's going to be a full one.
Not lately.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I.